Hi Virgo, welcome to your 16th to the 23rd. Get the dates right this week. So it is the 16th to the 23rd of October 2023. So if you want a private reading, I'm now doing 2024, the back on deal. It's been reduced a little bit and it's a nice deal. So if you want to get prepared for 2024, people have already had them. They're amazing readings. It's my own design. Check it out in the iDot. There's 6-month readings. There's different readings on sale. But the 224 is what people are really focused on because they want to start getting planned for 2024. If you want to join the locals, you can below. If you want to support me on my website, there is now a support page. You'll find it on the website in the iDot. Like the video and comment. So, you know, I know some Virgos are kind of like Elisa, just doesn't do our reading anymore. I've just had so much going on in life. I can't tell you, since everything collapsed, it's just been so difficult for me, and I'm going through a lot. So it's not that I hate Virgos, it's not that I don't want to do your videos, it's just there's a lot going on. There's a lot of injustice, but I trust in God, I trust in the process, I trust that things will right themselves, and but it doesn't mean it's not difficult. It's very difficult. But you know, there's women out there with children right now who can't feed them, they can't put a roof over their head. I've got challenges, but I'm a single woman, you know. I pray for those women and then men, because their hearts must just be breaking. Imagine having little kids looking up at you and your life is like, and it's just, you know, it can always be worse. Just keep that in mind, like, you know, and when the tough times come, which they're coming for us all, then it's your opportunity to get really tough as a person, to see what you're made of, to stand in who you represent, even though the devil attacks you in the most inhumane, horrible ways. So yeah, I feel like for some Virgos right now, like, things might be a bit messy, they might be a bit challenging, they might be a bit chaotic. The Virgos who I've been dealing with, they're definitely struggling. So I feel like the message here for you this week is the Nine of Pentacles. Like, some of you might have money. Okay, so not everyone's problem is money or career, right? Some people are really together financially and they've got a career and they've got money, but they're dead inside you. In other words, like, they haven't got the happiness, they haven't got the connection that they so want. So some of you Virgos, like, you really, but some of you are in a really good place. You could have come out of your storm. So this is behind you. Okay, so the Tower is behind you, and the Nine of Pentacles with the Sun card is basically your tower's over, and you're moving towards happiness and you're moving towards connection. You could be spending time with someone this week. You could be meeting someone this week, the world. But remember, you need to be out of your cave, right? The problem with Virgo is, like, you can stay in your cave, so you need to be out of your cave. I'm going to say that some Virgos have got to a point where you're really pissed off with the kind of level of respect that you're receiving. It could be by a masculine, it could be by a boss, it could be by a company. And I feel like the Queen of Swords is, it's now time for you to take your independence back, your power back, your value back. It's time to demand your worth, basically. Okay, some of you are powerful coaches or consultants. You could make a lot of money. You could be working with children. You could be a Reiki healer. You know, the Sun card can be energy worker. Some of you might be investing in electricity. You might be investing in commodities. So some of you want to get really, really rich, and remember, what will make you rich is things that people mostly need, especially in these times. So some of you want to become investors, and you want to start investing in things that basically people, the necessities, so people will pay for them. That's a little tip there. But yeah, I do think for some of you, just the level of piss that people have took is just too much for you at this point. And I do think, like, you want to leave the instability behind. You want to leave the chaotic clients behind, the clients who don't value you. And I feel like you want to move towards more abundance. You want to move towards more financial independence. You want more time for you. The other side of the coin is, you know, I said this to someone the other day, because money can be a trap. So money's great, but it's how you make your money. And there's lots of people out here who are super successful financially, but they are in prison. Like they're just dead inside, because now they're trapped in a life of wealth. They're trapped in these contracts. They've got these conditions, and they just, yeah, the money's there, and, you know, they look good on the surface, but they're suffocating inside their own body, because, again, that money is conditional, and it's dependent on them being in that place, doing that job, fulfilling that role. So there's something for you where, yes, you want money, but you also want independence and freedom. So this is about be careful how you make your money, because money can also be a trap. But you know, it's also not funny to have no money. Things like social media, where basically people just take the piss. So you need to find the balance between having money but making sure money doesn't become a prison where you're trapped within that prison, because otherwise, what's the point? Okay, you can have all the money in the world, but if every day you get up and you're trapped in a job you hate and you just feel like you're captive, well, what's the point? Okay, the 8 of Wands. Some of you might be a consultant, or you might basically be working in you might be a consultant. The energy is really intense on the back end of this eclipse. I can't even put into words, it's so fast. So I'm just kind of trying to get this out. But yeah, some of you might be like a consultant, or you might be like a teacher. And I just see it as that basically it's flatlined, like the clients aren't coming in, or they're barely paying anything, especially if you're an independent consultant or an energy healer, and you need to correct the balance here. Okay, the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords is about getting a strategy. Okay, so you need to get a strategy for your money, for your consultancy business, for your clients. You need to start thinking about new ideas, new ways to bring in clients, new content. Because what I'm getting for you is that it's flatlined. Something you're doing is flatlined, basically. So it could have been that something at one point was like super successful, but now it's just not bringing in the results, and so you need to re-establish yourself. It could be rebuilding your brand, okay, or it could be totally taking a new direction and just accepting that it had its day, but now it's time to move towards a new path and new challenges and update yourself. I feel like the good stuff is like some of you are going towards fame, victory, success. Like some of you are in a really, really good place right now. You know, I feel like basically people are really warming to you, like they're really connecting with you. This is victory. This is where people are starting to notice your abilities, your work, they're seeking you out. But I think this is for the Virgos who are really, really standing in the power. That's the challenge right now for some of yous. There's so many clients. There's so many, and you're having to keep up with the demand. So some of you might be having success in what you're doing, but the challenge is keeping up with the demand that is being placed upon you, and that's life. There is no complete win. You know, I've done it. I've lived many different times and many different realities, and I've had times where I've been super successful and the money's been coming in and the resources have been coming in. But it's also been super challenging and taxing and stressful, because there's just so many people who want your attention, your services and your time. So you need to manage, basically. Success is great, right? It's nice to be winning, but also living. Don't get too wrapped up, okay? You could be dead any day. So I think some of you need to manage your time better. So we just talked about this, didn't we, about the gym? So obviously I just should have went to the gym earlier, and I was thinking about it, and I kind of knew it shutting down for a couple of days, so it was going to be busy. So that was my fault. Sometimes we make our own stress, right? Sometimes it's the way we're managing our career, our money, our clients, our day that is creating our stress. So this is really about, okay, like, could I manage this better? Some of you are like, oh, you know, I work all the time, I don't have time for a personal life. Yes, you do. You're just not making time for your personal life, and so you've got no personal life. Okay, it's really about owning it. I do think a lot of people on the back end of the pandemic, and just the clear injustices and just the way the world is set up, it's a very rapey game. I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, but it really is. It's either savages, or it's like you're sitting out here begging for some fucking extra change. Like most people feel like, you know, beggars on the street, it's like, please, sir, can I have some change? You know? So I do think some of you Virgos need to up your value, because, you know, people will be out here taking the piss right all over you if you let them, okay? So some of you need to set your standards, set your prices, and start reworking your value, because people are not giving you it. Page of Pentacles reversed. You're being too emotional in business. You're being too nice, okay? No. So you got the 7 of Pentacles. You need to work on your coin. 7 of Pentacles is toil, labour, building coin, building resources. I feel like a message here as well is building money for a rainy day. You know, so this is, a lot of people are going into the savings now, because the way the world is and just the rise in costs and all of this, there's a lot of shady shit taking place where if they don't have to give you anything, they're not going to give you it. things are changing on a dime in companies, in banking, in the government. You've got to be prepared for this, right? There's a lot of dirty shit taking place now, so you've got to be planning for your future. You know, if your bank shuts down, if shit goes down, you're done. You know, so I think a lot of people don't go into a fear state, go into a preparation state. It's like, okay, how can I adapt? And it's also about minimizing stress, because I feel like just living now is so stressful. Like, people just dealing with them, just their energy, their attitudes, like, it's so stressful. So what I'm saying is, you need to really, really think about ways that you can minimize stress. Like, stay away from dickheads, stay away from people who just, like, if you have to go to the gym earlier so you can just focus on your business and get the job done, then do it. Okay, like, get up, drive yourself, right? Be smart, be intelligent. Some stresses you can't avoid. They're just going to be part of life, right? That's just part of the human experience. But I'm saying smart people now are really getting the shit together, and they're going, okay, I can't change this game, the dirty players, the savages, the shit that's taking place, but I can adapt, I can navigate, I can be smart. And that's something that Virgo's good at. You know, this could also be, like I said, you've got some savings, so by capitalising on those savings, okay, by putting them into investments, that's where you're going to get rich. You're not going to have to work a business, you're not going to have clients, you're not going to be doing time for money. You're going to be investing in stocks and things that are going to be capitalising and building your money, okay? The start. But remember, money, success, all this shit is not everything. Your health is important, your peace of mind is important, the people you're surrounded by are important, how you feel in yourself is important, the person you're becoming is important. You know, so, you know, this is something I said to someone the other day. Like, a lot of people think everyone's struggling out here. There's lots of people who are making great money and great stability off the back end of a lot of people's pain. Do not be deceived. The idea that people are out here all drowning, oh, there's a lot, but there's a lot of people. It's like one side of society is being absolutely collapsed and crushed, and the other is building itself up on the back end of people's misery, on lies, and they've got no conscience. But would you want to be that person? Do you want to be that person? I do think people need to think about how they're making the money, you know, and how they're acting in the character now, because once you've done it, there's no going back from it. You can't really redeem yourself, right? So, but there's nothing wrong with protecting your interest as a Virgo and building a strong business and demanding your value. But I think the biggest problem in our society is people just don't know where the line is anymore. You know, they just don't know where the line is. You know, the morality and integrity and truth is just going right out the fucking window. You know, so remember, it's important to win, right? It's very important to win, and that's good. You should want to win. You should get your value. You should protect your own interest and your family's interests. But also, be careful about how you act in all of this, because again, once we've got there, once we've done it, once we see big money is and all that, you know, we've sold out, right? We've hurt other people, we've run all over other people, we've just been a savage. That's not the person you want to be. The amount of savages I'm seeing out here, like people, and I just tell them, they're like, oh, sorry about that. I'm like, don't worry, but you do know it's a full circle, and your circle is going to come full circle, right? You do know what, you know, I just call them out. If it's dirty behaviour at any company, I just say to them, no, do what you got to do, but just remember what you did, because the universe doesn't forget. So just keep it in mind. And you can tell that they're always like, they know deep in themselves, they're like, yeah, this is coming back for me. But their greed blinds them. Their greed blinds them. Like the need to win for themselves blinds them, so they'll do it. And they generally believe as well, like, it's not really coming back. Like I kind of know karma, but I don't think so. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be able to deceive until it does, and it will. And for those who are sitting in the shit right now, it's because you're being too naive in the world that you're in. The world is full of savages now. People will throw you under the bus. They'll collapse your shit in a second. They really don't care. And so some of you are kind of sitting there going, fuck, I'm fucked. It's like, because you're being too naive in the game that you're in and the players that you're playing amongst. It's absolute sharkville out here. It's just low character, like low morality. It's just people who don't speak truth. It's people who fuck anybody to keep themselves safe and comfortable. It's true savagery now. And if you think it's bad now, you've seen nothing yet. And for the Virgos who think I'm being dramatic, time will show you. And you'll sit there and go, do you know, that bitch was not joking. They will take everything from you. You will own nothing and be happy. They will take everything from you. Okay? You'll be sitting there, you'll have been working in a job for years, it'll be gone. It is going to be absolute savagery out here. But what I'm saying with you is it's about how you act, it's your character, it's how you basically show up with other people and how you give to them and take from them. I'm not saying you have to be fake. You know, I'm a Virgo ascendant, we don't do that shit. We don't play the whole social game. But you can still be a decent person underneath. Okay, you got the Empress. So the Empress is about building abundance, right? It's also about basically taking time for your health. It's about taking time for your comforts. It's also about love, right? So this is about wanting to bring love into your life. And, you know, I do think that's something that Virgos need to work on, right? Remember, you're only here once, right? I feel like some Virgos, I'm going to be honest, with the Eight of Pentacles, like you're really engrossed in your work right now. So like I said, you might have a lot of clients and I feel like that is your focus right now. I feel like you really want to be in your best self before you focus on love. So some of you right now, like that really is your focus, to just get your money right, to get you right, to work on your healing. And that's good. There's a lot of people coming up in your reading, so this could be collaborating with other people, especially if you're on social media, because that can be a way for you to connect with their audience. It's not using them. So this could be where you collaborate with other people, and this builds fame, it builds influence, it builds opportunity. You know, that was something that I didn't do. But it's also being aware of all of these games and just kind of, we're living in such a fickle society. And, you know, people's emotions are fickle, people's loyalties are fickle, people are fickle. They cannot be trusted. And it's as simple as that. So I feel like the only person you can know who's going to make the next move, like what next move is you. You can only know the next move you're going to make. You can only know truth in you. You cannot, it doesn't matter what a person presents, it doesn't matter what a person says, you can never ever know if that's true, but you can know you and your motivations and what you're doing, and that's what counts now. Okay, the Devil with the Three of Swords. I feel like some of you are working amongst someone who's very, very toxic. You might have toxic neighbours. So a lot of people are just becoming toxic in general, right? They're becoming freaks and strange, you know. And so I think for some of you Virgos, like there's a house that you want to leave because the house is like really toxic. It could be like toxic neighbours, it could be neighbours who take the piss and they just basically do whatever they want without concern for other people. There's just things that you want, Virgo, and I do think it's going to take hard work, it's going to take dedication, it's going to take levelling up. Some of you want to be famous, and I do think that the fame and the acknowledgement and the notoriety and the attention is coming. But just remember, with that, there's a downside, right? So there's going to be the haters, there's going to be the jealous people, there's going to be the people looking to bring you down. I just think you need to have your eyes wide open now when it comes to yourself, you know, motivations, people around you, like what you're doing to win, you know, who you are as a person, what you stand for. Like, I just think your eyes need to be open to both yourself and to the game that we're in at present, and just like what the world is and what people are. Okay, but there's lots of people coming up. So for some Virgos, I do feel like this is more about really collaborating with other people, but I do think that some of you have seen the true face of certain people in your life, and these people are backstabbing you, they're using you, they're exploiting you, especially if you are successful, especially if you are famous. And I feel like the message here is to get rid of those people, okay, to eliminate those people. Okay, there's a difference between people collaborating to both become successful. Everybody uses people to an extent, it's the human game, but I'm saying there's a difference between people using people and then people, you know, in other words, people bartering with each other, and then people just exploiting. And I do think for some Virgos, like, you're very successful people, you have a lot of power, you have a lot of intelligence, so don't let certain people exploit you and use you. You'll regret it. I do think for some of you Virgos, you've got people around you who are just absolutely questionable, and this is where your life goes to shit when you ignore those signals about certain people. Your instinct will always tell you this is a shark, this is a snake, this is a rat, and when you ignore that, you fuck your damn self. Do not do that now. You will regret it. I get this energy if there's a certain person around you and you just know, like, you in every signal, every fucking thing is firing off, going, don't trust them, don't trust them, don't trust them. Can you hear that? See? right? And it's just everything's firing off, right? Even the fucking signals outside in terms of like the police and and it's just like you need to listen to that now, because there's just dickheads who just like, they're going to be your downfall, you're going to regret getting involved with these people. So lots of people, lots of energy, lots of opportunities. Some of you are really connecting, shit is going good, but not everyone's your friend, right? You know that already. And be careful, be selective, be smart, have your eyes wide open to people this week. But some of you, it's a really, really good week to go out for the Christmas party, connect, collaborate, start working with other people, because especially if you're in social media or you want to get your products out there, by working and collaborating with other people and showing them respect, lots of opportunity is going to come. But again, it is about working together. Some of you are single and love could be coming in, but it's going to demand that basically your heart is open. Okay, you need to drop your guard, you need to forget about the past. Some of you are dealing with a player though, so it could be a Leo, it could be, there's so many different signs coming up. So I feel like the message here is basically, don't be fucking with players who've got multiple options. Some of you are dealing with someone who's married, you're dealing with somebody who fucks every bitch with a pulse, like, it's drama. You know, I feel like for those who feel vulnerable, it's so easy to get into bed with the devil when you're in a financial vulnerability, when you're in an emotional vulnerability. You know what they say, when you're thirsty, you'll drink anything, but that's a worry this time. Okay, so some of you right now, you've got some serious problems financially, you might be really emotionally dependent, sexually dependent. Be careful who you get into bed with at this time, especially if you're vulnerable, because that's where the devil's going to use you. He's going to reel you in and you're going to regret it down the road. So this could be, for example, you've got money problems, and so you go to like these loan sharks or you go to like these debtors, but you might seriously regret it down the road. So watch who you're getting into bed with. Remember, whenever we connect with someone, it's an electromagnetic frequency. If you're dealing with someone who puts his dick in everything, and these women are low devil entities, the bad energy, that energy is going into you. Same as men, right? So this is where people end up very, very messed up internally, because it's people that they're sharing their electromagnetic frequency in the body with. It's not just about the sexual act, it's all about the intimacy that you're sharing with that person, the embedded trauma that's going to come into you, the anger, the dark energy. So be careful. But in general, it's an amazing week to collaborate, build a podcast, network with people, start thinking new resources, start demanding more value, start putting people in the place, disconnect from people who you just know for a fact. It's more about, I feel like your talents are being exploited, they're being used. Don't let people. And to be fair, I don't know what the fuck that siren is about, but these sirens have just been going off the whole time for your reading. So there is red flags, there is signalling, there is your inner antenna is telling you. And with the level of madness that's going on out there, I would say whatever it is for you, this is something seriously dangerous. It could be a person who's seriously dangerous. This could be things going on within you. But this is a strong signal to really pay attention, to be with your eyes wide open this week. That doesn't mean be paranoid, it doesn't mean be fearful. It just means have your eyes open, you know. Because the amount of people, you know, and I've slipped and I've definitely suffered and I've definitely been stupid and I'm definitely paying the price, and that's why I can be someone who can fully say to you, as I'm telling you, if you think you are safe, you've got no idea, your whole life will collapse overnight. That's the kind of society that we live in. You go from being someone was saying this, some guy, he said I was very successful, he said, and then the 2008 came in, he said, and I literally went from a successful person overnight to being on the streets. Okay, now's not the time for arrogance, now's not the time for thinking you're safe, now's not the time for thinking you won't be touched, you will. Now's the time for preparation. If you're in a good spot, now's the time to really be ironing out, put money in the bank, investing, getting your shit together, planning for what's coming, because the level of savagery that is going to happen out here is going to be shocking. It's going to be shocking. And the Virgos, the good thing about speaking to Virgo is when they hear me speak, they're like, she's an intelligent woman. This woman's not being dramatic. If she's saying this, it's because it's what's coming. Virgos aren't soft, they're not stupid. Okay? You've dealt with a lot of sharks, you've built companies, you've seen what it is. You've built businesses, you know what people are. Okay? Now's the time to have your eyes wide open, Virgo. And if you do, you'll be okay. Okay? It's also a time to treat people decent. Right, I know it can be very testing, but it's a time to basically don't fuck anyone. It's not worth it. Don't be that person. Don't be that person who's sitting there on an empire in a gold mine, knowing that other people are deeply suffering because you fucked them. Don't be that person. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Trust me. I don't know these people even, but I do, because they're empty. And remember, once you do something once, you'll do it again and again. So once you fuck people, you'll just do it again and again, and that'll become who you are. Okay? But also, don't be stupid. Don't be, that was something I did. Don't be a martyr. These motherfuckers don't care about you. They don't care. Don't be stupid. Be reasonable with people. Don't fuck them. But also, when it's business, it's business. And look them in the face and say that. It's business. I also think if you're going to be a person who's like going to fuck people, do it to the face. Like at least be someone who's upfront about it. Just be like, look, it's business. So you're either in or you're out, but this is business. Those people I respect, because at least they're not fucking people behind the back, right? It's like, do you want the deal or not? It's a bit like loan sharks. So loan sharks are absolute savages. I got a loan at one point, but to be fair, they did help me. So, but they charged me 3 times the amount. It was crazy. Right, but to be fair, they didn't fuck me. They were upfront about it. It's like, listen, if you want this loan, this is what you're gonna have to pay back. And those people I respect because okay, they're playing on your insecurities, they're playing on your position, but they're not lying about it. Okay, so yeah, it's just, if you're gonna be like that as a person, then just like at least be honest, so that people know that you're not pretending to be the nice guy when you're really just a dirty shark. Okay, so have a great week. There's some really amazing stuff coming. Collaborate and network, and maybe opportunity for love if you're willing to put yourself out there. But you need to be carrying the right energy. You need to be in the right mind space. If you want to book in your 2024, you can. If you want to book in a reading on sale, you can. Check out the locals below, like the video and comment, and I'll speak to you soon.